So maybe you should put your money somewhere where you don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half to take it out, where you can control how and when it's taxed. You might not know those things, but you can go to someone who knows tax and they can tell you those things, and you can set up contracts that go with those so that whenever you're making $19,656 a year, you can invest $9,000 and not have any income from that for several years and then get it all back at one time. Then what can you do? Then you can go and buy your own house, right? You can go and buy a flip house. You can do something of that nature, right? So the other thing you can think about is, starting your own business. Now, if you don't have something that you want to do, then maybe you can help someone else start a business that you know has a potential to do something. Or you can invest in someone's business that you know that is already doing well, but they could do better if they had more money for things like marketing, more equipment, things of that nature. That might be helpful for you and for them, right? You can work together to do things instead of giving your money back to the government. You could also go buy a new TV. Who does that help? Walmart, not you. You might have had a bigger TV, but it's not going to feel any different when you're watching that big screen than it is when you're watching your iPhone. It's going to be the same thing, especially in 20 years when you're wishing you had money for something. So a lot of people don't know this, but Tyler Perry actually saved from his paychecks and from his tax refunds. He saved those. And he had $12,000 and something dollars. Now, he was single, so he didn't get $8,000 refunds, right? What he got back was what he had put in. And it wasn't a lot at a time. But he saved those things. And he put on his first play in 1992. And so he was funding his own business. Unfortunately, that play was a flop. He had rented out a theater, had 200 people, was available for 200 people to sit there and watch his play. It was a good play. All 30 people that he invited and gave free tickets to, they came. And they said it was a good play, but it didn't do him any good. But he learned lessons with that $12,000. And with those lessons, he went out and he got investors. And then he started building his business. And now he's worth several millions of dollars, maybe even $1 billion, I don't know. He's up there with Oprah, and he owns his own business. He actually said that from the experiences that he's had and the mistakes that he's made, he could have paid for a Harvard education. That might be true, but I would hate to tell Tyler Perry this today, but that Harvard education probably wouldn't have taught you what you needed to know. Not for the business he's doing. It's only going to teach you if you want to be a lawyer or a doctor, right? Something specific, an accountant, which you can learn on your own. Okay, so if you have an artistic ability, then maybe invest in that. Otherwise, your next option is real estate. You could do a down payment on an affordable home, something that's within your range that you're already paying. Now, if you do that, you're going to want to make sure that it's on a 15-year mortgage and not a 30. Trust me, for my own mistakes. You're going to pay about 65 to 70% in interest over the lifetime of a 30-year mortgage. So if you buy a $100,000 house, you're going to pay $160,000 for it. At least you're not making a payment for rent, but you're still just throwing your money away for the first several years. The other thing you want to make sure of is that you have great credit. Not enough credit to get a house, but great credit. Because if you only have enough credit to get a house, you're also going to pay for something else in addition to your house payment that you thought you were going to be able to afford. It's called private mortgage insurance because your credit's lower. So they're going to charge you every month about $83. So over the life of that loan, you're going to pay about $15,000. This is on a 15-year loan. You're going to pay another $15,000 on that. On that 15-year loan, you're only going to pay about 35% interest. So that's not as bad, right? The other thing you can do is if you buy a house that's not worth as much as it could be, if you invest a little bit of time or money in it, we call those flip houses. So you know you're not going to be there 15 years, you know you're not going to be there 30 years, then that might be a good investment for you. The other thing you can do is you can look at other people who are already doing that. and you can invest with them, especially when they've already made mistakes, like Tyler Perry said, right? They've already made mistakes, so they already know how to do things better and right. They've already learned those lessons with their own money. Now, is this a guarantee? Of course it's not a guarantee. Nothing in life is a guarantee. What did the third man say? What did the third servant say? He said, I was scared I wasn't going to have your money. I was going to lose it, so I buried it. You can do that. You can bury it in the bills. You can do that. But if you do, more will not be given to you. Actually, put a little note up here that I almost forgot about, but it is actually a good idea to set money aside for an emergency. But the reality is, when you don't make money, when you're not in the upper middle class or higher, then it's always an emergency. Your car needs brakes. That's not the money I have, it's an emergency. So you can put $1,000 in your emergency fund. It's probably going to be gone in 6 months. And you're not going to have a way to replenish it. But it is a good idea to put some money aside if you can. Don't expect for it to earn any interest, but it's a good idea to put some money aside. What you definitely want to do is avoid payday loans, installment loans, title loans, buy here, pay here car loans. Those things will kill you. You will never pay them off, or you might, but it's going to be whenever it breaks down. And you're still going to be trying to pay it off and fix everything at the same time. So make sure that you avoid those things. Proverbs 22:7 says, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Something Dave Ramsey preaches all the time, and it's very true. Why? Well, they can come and take your car anytime they want to. You're slave to the lender. Why? Because you got to work harder, and when you do, you got to give your money to them. So, thank you guys for your time. Hopefully it wasn't as long as you thought it was going to be. Here's some of my last thoughts. The system we live in today is designed for you to survive. It's not designed for you to get out. If you want to get out, you got to start making, or you got to start putting your money to work. If you're not putting the money that has been given to you to work, all you will do for the rest of your life is survive. Second, look at the big picture. Yeah, you want to have a car now, so you can go buy here, pay here, right? It might be a good idea for you to take $5,000 of your $9,000 refund and go buy a good car for cash. You can go to a car lot where the car says $7,500. You can go to a car lot where the car says $7,500 and you can say, how about $5,000 cash today? A guy's going to be stupid to walk away from it because they're still making money off of you. That's a good investment. Instead of paying for buy here, pay here for the next 5 years and still trying to pay to get that car fixed all the time. You might have to pay for that $5,000 car to get fixed too. That's going to be a whole lot less. The other thing is increase your income strategically. Getting a raise doesn't necessarily help you. I tripled my income, but I didn't even double it. So it's not just working harder that's going to help you. Yeah, you're going to have to work hard, but just working harder is not going to help you. Whenever you're working at a job, you're limited to the amount of money you can make. Let me give you an example. My husband recently started his own business, and we struggle sometimes. But then we look at the big picture. Well, most of the time we're making more money than we were. And if we continue to grow our business, we have the potential to make $12,000 a month without ever hiring an employee, versus the $4,000 you would make at the same job, making the other guy $12,000 a month. So when you can, invest in yourself or invest in someone you know who can do something. So Vince Lombardi is one of my favorite leaders, and I was a leader for several years, and so I think about leadership and I talk about leadership all the time, but Vince Lombardi says, the price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. So I would encourage you guys to win or lose, get a plan and follow that plan and stick to that plan. And don't make that plan only be, I'm going to college. It's not where it's at. You can go to college, you can become a doctor. Go out and Google, I'm a doctor now. This is how much I pay in student loans. I'm a doctor now, I've been a doctor for 10 years, I still haven't paid off my student loans. If you're a doctor and you own your own business, you might be doing good. But if you're a doctor working at the hospital, you might just be upper middle class. If you're lucky, you might be upper class. So that's all I have for you guys today. You guys can find us on Facebook at Set Ranch and Prosperity Club, or you can just type in hashtag a space for us.